There. Okay, you heard it first. If anybody pulls this recording up, all this hubbub is not affecting us. We're recording today, and we are going to focus on strength work, really strength work and progression of. Okay, so that's where I'm at. So you know what I'm going to do warming up? I'm going to do a very normal thing that we do when we just get up and start moving around. I'm going to just pick up a gentle load. I'm going to pick up one thing. Now I have 2 jugs. Whatever you have to carry, pick it up. I don't care if it's a can of food. Anything that you grasp. So grasping is a part of strength work. And by the way, it's one of the ways that you will get tested to see how likely you are to be what we call frail. Okay, somebody will do a grip strength. Do you see what I'm doing? Do you see this? I'm walking front to back and I'm taking a 10-pound load from one side to the other. This could be a kettlebell. You could use your weights if that's all you have that you're grasping. So I'm grasping from the top. I'm ambulating backward. I'm not going fast. If you have joint issues, I have a knee replaced and a hip replaced, and probably heading for another hip replaced. I'm trying to hang on. Anyway, you don't go fast to start with, number one. And when you are ambulating, even with a 10-pound load, which I have right here, I don't want to lean in. So this is the eternal thing that probably is a hallmark of this channel and what I'm doing, because I had to do it for me. So I'm doing a lot of stuff I got to do, and I'm just inviting you to come along. So when I transfer 10 pounds from one side to the other, I'm very mindful of, number one, breathing through my nose. And if you've done this much with me so far, just this, you will notice that you're needing to breathe more. What a novel thought. When you move more, especially with even a gentle load, you're going to require more oxygen, okay? Which is what we want, because we want to fire, turn on the mitochondria. Those are our factories in our cells that have to do with the way you produce energy. Yeah, so that's what we're doing right now. So as I walk front to back, I'm continually saying, and this is what I meant to say a while ago, lining up, rib cage up, breathe through the nose. And when I breathe through the nose, I keep my chin tucked. Why do I do that? Because let me show you just really quickly, whoever is going to watch this, when you take the first step, you take it like this. You don't even realize that you do it. So I'm just saying that first step, and I've done programs on this before, that if you're going to do some strength work, start with how you are lining yourself up as you're walking. That's number one. Number two, how are you using your gluteals? A lot of people will walk like I'm walking right now, ambulate, and they haven't even asked their gluteals to do anything. So you might say, oh, well, how do you do that, Jeannie? So when I put my foot forward and I go to push off that back foot, see, when I'm going to push off that back foot, I squeeze the gluteal. Not super hard, just turn that gluteal on, okay? And it's pretty easy to keep it, pretty tight when you're walking backwards. But when you're walking forward, see, you're propelling yourself primarily, unless you're running and you really have to get into those muscles with your quads, you know, and momentum and the lean. A lot of you are leaning forward and you have to put your foot out there just to keep you from falling on your nose. I want to elevate the whole procedure of ambulation by thinking, how am I doing this? And at the same time, because I chose to pick up a 10-pound carry, I'm giving my shoulders, my vertebrae, all the way from the head all the way down through every joint, a readout. And what's it reading out? Oh my goodness, she's trying to hang on to 10 pounds as she's trying to propel me. Then you start, when you're starting to push off forward, see, I'm right here, right there. When I'm going to push off the foot in the back to take a step, that's when you turn that side on. So now, this simple walking forward, walking back, you have a lot to think about. So if somebody pulls this up and just goes, oh, you know, let me wait until she's done with this stupid warm up, I'm like, well, probably talking to you with an injury soon. Because that tends to happen. So what I'm trying to get you to do right now, line yourself up, breathe through your nose. Then I'm trying to get you to really contract one of the largest muscles and to help you with this task of ambulation. At the same time, I'm going back and forth with a 10-pound carry. And every time I do it, I say rib cage up. And I drop my chin. And I turn on the gluteal. You have to slow down if you're not used to doing that. See, if you're going to turn that cheek on when you push off the toe right there, you're going to have to slow it down and really be present with this activity. So I hope this is all making sense and that you've caught yourself in some very pervasive postural habits that get us into trouble with our back. And then, I mean, that's the, you know, getting in trouble with your back, your knees, your hips, whatever. But you're on the not the least of which is you're not getting as much out of your walk as you could. Okay, if you have a weight in your hand, great. Just bring it up and share the load now. Okay. Now, this maneuver that I just did, bringing it right here, and then cradle it. Keep your elbows down, drop your shoulders, and then say rib cage up, and then brace right through here. Just brace. Yeah, that's different than sucking your belly button in. Okay, now when you have this right here and you're carrying this 10-pound load, okay, this is for the whole frame is 10 pounds. That's what this is. And this is pretty easy to do this. You can do it with one of your weights. You can pick up the 9-pound weight, okay, and just hold it right here. Keep your elbows in. See that? Then we're going to go into the side step, the side step, the side step. And instead of tapping, I want you to move in there the whole way. You're going to hip hinge. See, we're hinging out. And then we're going to put the whole foot down. When you put the foot down right there, say rib cage up. See, and I don't have a weight right here. I'm pressing it right into the chest, right at the sternum, right under my chin. Look at my elbows. My elbows are in tight. Yeah, I can move it down here, or I can move it up here. But I want to take a full step now. I want to go step, and Every step I go back just an inch or two. And when you get to both feet, I want you to squeeze both gluteal muscles. Yeah, that's your butt. For those of you who are not quite sure what the gluteal is. Yeah, squeeze it tight. Yeah, just like that. See, I'm stepping now. I've got both feet together. I'm going to go squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Then I'm going to go here. I'm going to go squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. I might raise the heels. Take a breath. One little heel raise. Step. Heel raise. Step. Heel raise. Those of us that have had hips replaced, what I have just gone through with you right now, now I'm down into pressing into the toes, raising the heel, squeezing the gluteal, hinging to the outside. Yes, working adductors, abductors, up with the heels. And I just come up and back just an inch or so at a time so that I can get several hip hinges accomplished in this warm up with a 10-pound weight. Okay? So I'm just trying to encourage you to spare your joints, give them a chance of warming up, and set the stage for progressive strength work. That's what this is about today. So now I've stepped out, gone forward, come back, squeeze my gluteal. Now let's go into a little bit of a bend and then come back up. And if you're not good at gauging, well, how far down am I supposed to go? I would tell you, go to your chair, act like you're going to put your load on the chair, but then don't. See that? So you're going to hip hinge a little. You're going to tighten in your tummy. You're going to drop your shoulders. You're going to act like you're going to put it down, but then you don't. So here's the task. When you're hip hinged and you're leaning out, what I want you to do is push into the heels. And that's going to be different than what you normally would think you're going to do. Because a lot of you, the minute I do this, you let yourself shift to the toes and then you start to do this with your knees. And that's what I don't want you to do. So now come full stand up. Okay. I'm chair width with my legs. I'm going to bring this carry right here. I'm going to hip hinge, go to the heels, and I'm going to act like I'm going to put this down, but then I don't. And then I stand back up. Squeeze your butt. Here we go. Hip hinge, bend the knees. Act like you're going to set this down and then come back. Okay? You should feel increasing pressure through your back extensors when you go to sit the item down. And then come back and then bring it in tight. Okay? Take a big breath with your nose. Here we go. Right there. And then come back. So see, I'm not opening my arms much because see, if you've noticed, I have my little 2-inch balance pad right here. See that? So here's one of your first progressions. I'm going to put it there. Now I have to, in order to tap my load, I have to go 2 inches further right there and come back. Drop your shoulders. Breath through the nose. Soften your knees. Hip hinge. Try to put your load down, but then don't. It's like you changed your mind. The whole thing that's going to make this work the way I want it to, though, is at your elbows. Once you get your hips pushing back, going into the heels, keep your elbows in. Act like you're going to sit down, sit the thing down, but then you come back and then you stand up and squeeze your butt. Drop your shoulders. Okay? This is 10 pounds. What if we were doing this and about right here, we decide to check out and to not even think what we're doing because you're thinking, oh, this is boring. You know what happens? You will come here and you will let your back flex. that's when you're going to put it under not a good pressure, okay? If we put it in a good pressure, it looks like this. And you can feel the act of trying to put that down, keeping my chin tucked, breathing. You can feel the pressure through your back extensors, your core. Keep your elbows in. You act like you're going to sit it down, but then you don't. Take a big breath. Keep your shoulders down. Take another deep breath, and then come back up. Because you did that right there with me, and you progressively went 2 inches further down, and you were holding into the heels, your hamstrings are keeping you from falling over on your nose. That's how it's supposed to work, okay? Now I'm gonna step back, okay? Still here in front of the chair, but now I'm gonna take this 10-pound weight, and for you who don't have a carry, which they're very easy. If you've ever had a colonoscopy, these are perfect. These are like little modified kettlebells. And this is 10 pounds. So in a gallon, you put water and you'll have 10 pounds. But if you're using my weights, that's fine. Do a 9 or a 12. Either one will work. So now I've stepped back. I'm going to do the hip hinge. Keep my chin tucked. Tighten in my belly button. Keep my elbows in. I'm going to increase my bend. I'm going to go down to where I'm going to tap the ground, and then I'm going to come back up. And I'm going to come back up. And here we go. Whole string of events into the heels. The knees should not be buckling. And bring it back up. So when you get to a point after tapping right here, don't keep going up. Pull that weight closer to you and come back up. So that's the better mechanic of a lift. So we're going to pull and then come up. See that change? There's a lot of people that will do this. They will stand up with this hanging down, and then they stress their back. Okay? You want to stress your muscles in your legs and then your back. And how do you do that? I'm trying to tell you. Drop your shoulders, drop your chin, take a breath. Soft knees, go down. Act like you're going to put it down. Then bring it in. Then come up. I hope you're getting this. Here we go. Let's do it 3 more times. We come down. We bring it in. Then we come up. And when you come up to squeeze your gluteals, you are in your heels. Drop your shoulders. We're going to put the item down. Then I'm ready to come up. Bring it to your tummy or as far as you can go. Drop your shoulders. 2 more. Here we go. Tap. Pull it in. Stand up. Got it? Keep your chin tucked. Hip hinge. Soften the knees. Here we come down. Tight tummy. Now you're going to come up. Pull it in. Then come up. Okay? Now we're going to do progressive overloading. How are we going to do that with this carry thing? I'm going to pick the other one up. That's a novel thought. Okay, so here I am. Now I've got 2 10-pound weights. So I'm going to retract. I'm going to say to myself, let me see, do I see any change in the way I'm ambulating in order to hang on to these 2 10-pound weights? And you could be picking up 2 9-pounds. I would encourage you to pick up more than 6 because we're doing carries. That means your whole body, your whole frame are in on this little task that we're doing. Okay? And I'm going to back up. I'm not going fast. I'm going to do a heel toe, a heel toe, a heel toe, a heel toe. Then I'm going to go back in reverse. Toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. Take a big deep breath, bring my shoulders up, drop my shoulders down. And when the shoulders come down, that is your clue to squeeze the gluteals. Yes, take a breath. Now I'm gonna hip hinge. I'm gonna go out much more than I'm going up. Then I'm gonna come back in. So it means I only went up about an inch or two. I'm gonna go out and up and bring it in, fully in. Drop your shoulders. At this point, you need to make the point that I am hanging this 10 pounds off of my fingers. See that? Now, if you want to, every time you step out, you can pull it into your palm. See, they're pulled in. But don't roll your wrists. This has to do with pulling your fingers in against that weight. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Squeeze the butt. See, you stepped in. Squeeze the butt, rib cage up, drop your shoulders. Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. You can bring it in now. Let it hang off the fingertips. Make sure your shoulders are down. I got about 1 or 2 more steps. Now squeeze the butt right there. Tight tummy. Yes. And 1 more. Here we go. Step out. Squeeze the butt. Yeah. Drop your shoulders. Yeah. Now let's work ourselves back. Okay. Now let's turn to the chair. We did our very task now that we used to warm up with. I've now progressively gone up 10 more pounds. Okay, now they're sitting on the chair and I'm gonna go try to pick up my load. So I'm gonna go wide, that's the very first thing. And I wanna put this in here especially for my gardeners. Chrissy's out there. I had some teenage workers out here yesterday helping me load mulch and do a bunch of stuff. Only 2 people got stung with yellow jackets. At your own risk. Okay. Here's the first thing I saw them doing. They went over to load their shovel and they, you know, these are kids that I had years before in PE that just started to do some of these movement education things. And they did this. They were going narrow and they were rounding their back and they were coming in, not bending their knees. So I went berserk. Yeah, you know. So the first thing you do, I've upped my load here, 10 pounds, number 1. You go wide. When you're gonna dig into something, take 1 second and position yourself. Drop your shoulders. You got your shovel, your hoe, your rake, whatever. Step a little wider, a little. Soften your knees, drop your shoulders. Use your legs, your gluteals, your back muscles appropriately. That's the biggest thing that gets me nuts when I see people working out in the yard. Just reposition. Everybody thinks they're gonna look dumb. No, you're gonna look dumb when you can't walk because you pulled your back. Okay, here we go. See this? I'm gonna grab my 2 10-pound weights. And what am I going to do before I stand up? You should be yelling. Pull it into your solar plexus. Yes. Now stand up. Yes. Push the hip hinge. Tap. Pull it in. Stand it up. Squeeze your butt. Hip hinge. Drop your chin. Act like you're going to put it down. Then you decide you're going to pull it in and stand up. Yes. Take a breath. Elbows in. Drop my chin, pull it into my solar plexus, then stand up. You're trying to pull your load close to you. And I'm not going down nearly as far as I could. Because what did I say? This is a progressive loading of strength work to spare your joints. And until you learn different pathways, you're going to go right back. And the harder the thing that you have to do, the less you think through a new habit pattern. That's why I'm trying to establish that for you. So now I'm here. Now I'm gonna pull him here. I'm gonna step back. Now I'm gonna go on down because I've done this a couple of times, right? I'm here, take a breath, keep my chin tucked, hip hinge, pull it in, stand up. Yeah? Step back. Now we're gonna go on down as far as we can. And if you can't go to the floor, that's okay. Just use your chair, that's fine. But go down as far as you can with your load. Okay, now you're really pushing your butt back. Now I'm gonna pick these suckers up, okay? I'm gonna take a breath. I'm gonna exhale and bring the load in and then stand. Take a breath. My elbows are in. Hip hinge, soften my knees, tighten my tummy, go down. Boom. Take a breath. Heels, bring it in and come up. Squeeze your butt. 2 or 3 more. Here we go. I said 2 or 3, Kathy. Okay, bring it in and stand up. And when you're standing up, have you shifted into your heels? Okay, so I'm doing this now with 20 pounds. Here I go. Keep it back extended. Soften. Come all the way down. Take a breath. Okay, at this point, I got 2 more to go. I'm going to drop my butt just a little bit more. Just to feel that stretch up through the hamstrings. Ready? Pull it in. Stand up. Squeeze your butt. Yes. Take a big breath. Here we go, right here. Now put it down. Last one, here we go. Drop your shoulders. Go into the heels. Tighten tummy. Pull it right into the solar plexus. Elbows are right here, tight. And then stand up. Squeeze your rear rim. Okay? So, now let's do, right at the end of this little segment, because we're fixing to change up, I'm going to do a little patterned walking. Number one, because I can. If it gives you a problem, don't worry about crossing over your foot here. Try it. Just tap in front of the other foot and come back. See that? Tap and come back. So if you'll take just a few minutes and do a little tap as if you were going to go that way and then put it back, that will help so much with your proprioception and your body position. See, I thought I don't need to hammer about this again, but I think I do. Drop your shoulders, soften your knee. Then bring that foot and tap it right in front of the toe. Bring it back, okay? So that little shift with your knee soft, this is one of the foremost things that you can do to help you with your balance. So what is that? One-legged standing. And we now, because of the way I set this up, I tried to make it very simple. I tried to make it, you could work it into your day. You're carrying 2 buckets of water. I challenge you, carry those buckets of water, fill that water up and see if you can carry them without sloshing out the water. That's a really good thing to work into your day if you're out doing a bunch of landscaping, gardening, whatever. See, I can have a lot of fun with gardeners with buckets of water and carrying things and the balance whole thing. And we could see who would slosh it more than the other. And we would get prizes. And the people who lost, they would have to take all the rotten tomatoes home, you know, stuff like that. That would be so fun. I know, I feel some of you are rolling your eyes and you're like, you're over the top here, Jeannie. No, this is things I used to think up all the time for my kids. Take a breath. See how I'm doing? Yeah. Do you know how many of us are very reticent to even pull one leg up and tie our shoe on a higher thing, yeah, we get scared. We start thinking, oh, I'm gonna lose my balance. Well, this is practice so you won't. And one of the things you got to practice at is don't lean forward as you're doing this one-legged challenge. And then you could act like you're going to kick, and then you come back. 20 pounds are coming down in my carry here. I'm letting them go right to my fingertips. My shoulders are down. My shoulder blades are in. When I go to do the tap, my knee is soft, and it should be doing gymnastics around your ankle. See how I'm tapping? And then if you wanted to, you could do a little punt. See? A little football punt. And then come back. Go back through the mantra. What's the mantra? Don't just say it. Chin in. Shoulders down. Take a breath. Tight tummy. Soften the knee. Boom. And then you keep saying rib cage up as you do that little football punt. So as I'm doing this punt with 20 extra pounds coming down my frame, oh my goodness, this is progressive overloading, which leads to strength gains without injuring your joints. Because you give yourself time and you pay attention to how you're lining up with a load, okay? So when you do this, last thing to remind you is don't scrunch your toes. It won't help you. Open your toes, okay? Drop your chin, drop your shoulders, rib cage up, shift, open the toes, get ready, here we go, and then do a little kick. See that? So this move right here, even if you aren't kicking something, all kinds of sports, just start naming them. This is a common move, a crossover, and whether you kick something or not, you're going to go in a different direction. So these moves are done routinely in sport, okay? But many of us with replaced joints are not engaging in a lot of sports we used to, for the simple fact that we don't want to injure ourselves. But then if we don't do some of those very iconic moves, we start losing our ability to do that. Now I'm fixing, that means getting ready. I'm gonna put my little balance pad right there again, because I'm fixing to pick up my hand weights, because I'm going to work on all the muscles in the upper body in a standing, and I'm going to work lower body, because we are going to do some progressive squatting. You can use a chair if you're having issues with hips or whatever, and you really have a hard time standing up because of the pain. You might need to always keep this here and not have as much weight and just use body weight. That's up to you. But what I'm going to do right now is another move that is done in sport, and it's done very quickly. So whereas I normally, I'll turn sideways so you see what I'm doing. So if I had light weights in my hands, I could do this. I wouldn't do this move with any heavy weights because I'm going quick. See that? So if you do a step forward and a push back, okay, that's a great move. For a split second, you're doing one-legged standing. Then you come down here. See that? See that bend? My rib cage is up. And then you come back. Just try it. See, like this. Is your tummy nice and tight? Because I can tell you, if I came into the room right now where you were exercising, it was just me and you did this, I would poke you right here. Because I want to feel if you've contracted. And if you're supporting your back, and if you're supporting this quick move. Okay? So once we go forward, and we do kind of a quick move, and you see I'm keeping my shoulders down. Breath, 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 breath. Breathe in through the nose. You can breathe out through the mouth if you need to, but you see this? And then I could do it in a circular 360 pattern. See, I'm just going into a step, back, step, back, step, back, step, back, alternating, alternating, one leg front, other leg front, just like that. And I'm doing a little bit of a modified punch. See, I'm not extending. I'm just coming to the shoulder. See that? And then by spinning into a 360, I get some really good vestibular function going. Take a breath. Don't take a break. Take a breath. Breath, breath, breath. Now spin the other way. Spin the other way. One step. You know how to do it. Bring that arm right up to the shoulder, just like that. Is your tummy tight? Yes. Breath. Are you breathing deeper? Yes. Was that a quick work? Yes. Because that's one of the things we start losing. We start losing fast twitch. Why is that important? Some of you are like, I'm not going to be doing that. Why do I need to do that? Well, do you want to catch yourself from a fall? Oh, ding, ding, ding. Yeah, that's the correlation. Now let's do one more session and let's do a backward lunge. See that? So it looks the same, but how you initiate it is quite different. So I'm still going to go across with my arms. Don't spin at first. Get yourself oriented to the movement. When you step back, number one, you are stepping directly back, okay? That by itself is going to throw you, so be ready. See, I'm going back. I'm not doing a quick jerk. See? Back. Rib cage is up. Now let's speed it up. And you're pushing off your toe. And guess what? Some of you, if I came into the room and you stepped back and then you went to push off, you would be pushing off the inside of your foot. And then you will wonder later on, why is my foot kind of hurting? I want you to push off your toe, okay? Drop your shoulders. Back. The toe should be pointing forward. Knee bent. Then come back. So once you get it, now we can increase the speed. And I don't have to go back far, but I do want a explosive push off the back toe. Breath. Breath. And I keep asking myself, is my toe pointing straight when I go to push off? Okay, and you can go as fast as you feel comfortable, as long as you don't get sloppy on your form. Take a breath, drop your shoulders, keep going side to side. And if I don't think about it, the side with my hip replaced, I will gravitate out. I'm telling you, you got to think about your movement pattern when you put speed, okay? And some people might think that's not very speedy, but for many of us, that might be more speedy than what we're normally used to. So I'm just giving you all the little things that might be the more effective and help you get stronger, better balance, and a quicker foot response so that you can catch yourself when you happen to step down off of a curb incorrectly, so that you can catch yourself. Okay, I'm going to keep this in place, right? Now I'm going to go pick up weights. So I was working with 10 pounds, right? So what I'm going to do is start with 9. And why did I say 9? Because most of you had these channel changing weights that you got from me whenever I sold all my equipment. Oh, that was a sad day. At the gym, and you have, it goes up in three pound increments. So we were using 10, so now I have 9, because I'm gonna do some different moves. I'm gonna go ahead and slip my toe back, like we just practiced. And I'm gonna bring these forward in that back, step back trajectory. Do you see this? So now, instead of just carrying this load, I'm actively lifting the load with my arms. And I'm starting at a very light, well, I don't say very light. I'm starting at a medium weight. Okay? Because 10 pounds is what I had oriented to on the carry. So after I do that several times with my foot back, I'm going to step up. I'm going to step back. And you notice I went a little wider. That's what you do if you don't want to turn your foot and you want a little wider base of support. See that? So I'm down here. I just did a hammer curl. See that? Now I'm going to turn and do another set, but I'm going to do a bicep curl. Number 1, make sure you're not over leaning. You're going to lean a little, that's okay. But your back has to be straight, has to be very extended, okay? So whether you bend or straighten the front leg, you're going to keep the back leg pretty bent and then bend the knee a little bit. See this? See this rocking and rolling? Okay, drop your shoulders. Now when I'm down position, see, pushing the knee out, I'm going to pull. I'm going to come all the way up. And now I'm going to take the time to go all the way down. In fact, into my fingertips. Now I'm going to pull it in to my palm and come all the way up. Bend that back knee just a little bit. Now straighten it, come all the way down. Here we go, up into the palm. Take a breath. Exhale. Take a breath. Exhale. All the way down. Here we go. All the way up and all the way down. So every time I do this, see, I go from my fingertips into the palm, then I start to pull. I don't use momentum here. I go all the way down. I drop my shoulders. My tummy is tight. Big breath. Exhale. All the way back down. Drop your shoulders. Yeah, right there. Here we go. All the way down. Here we go. And all the way down. I know I did more on that side. Kathy probably would have told me about that in class. Okay. Right here, we're going to go shoulders to the ears. Drop them down. Keep your chin tucked. Here we go. Shoulders to the ears. So just do a few just to reset the shoulder. See that? Okay. Now, whatever foot you had behind you, take the other one and slip it back. And now we are going to lean in with a flat back. That means bend the front knee. Elbows are in. Keep my chin tucked. Press back. Shoulder blades roll in. I sure hope Kay is here. This is yours, Kay. Drop the shoulders all the way. Now squeeze the back of the arm. Bring it back in. Keep your elbows close to your body. Push that knee forward. Boom, right there. Squeeze the back of that arm. There we go. Squeeze the back of the arm. Squeeze the back of the arm. Squeeze again. And just one more with this weight. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. Take those weights. Your holster. And go up. 1. So, everybody wants to know what's the weight I'm using. It doesn't matter. I want you to just go up 1 little click. So that means if you're using free weights and you don't have this kind of weight, that could mean if instead of a 6, you're going to pick up an 8. Or instead of an 8, you're going to pick up a 10. I'm picking up a 12. Okay, so here's what you need to notice. In this whole session, this is the first time that I have picked up a heavier weight than what we started with. This is called progressive overloading. And some of you will say, well, we didn't do too much. We only got, yes, we did. A, we moved a lot. B, we didn't injure our joints. And we did some progression and movement, etc. So now what I'm going to do is take that same little trajectory, step back, just like that. See that? And I'm going to stay hammer. I'm going to come up, and I'm only going to do 6 of each of these. Here we go. Right there. Your stomach should be really pulling right now. Pull it in, supporting the back. Knees are soft. Okay? Drop your shoulders. Here we go. Breathe. Exhale. Tap. Bring it back down all the way. Then bring her back in. Now you're pretty much holding it into your palms. Okay? So I'm not taking the time now. I did a lot of grip strength work with the lighter weights. Now I'm just hanging on. I think that's 6 maybe. Okay, let's say that's 6. Okay, turn them. Let's just do 6. Drop your shoulders. Tight tummy, breath. Right there, all the way down. Breath. Exhale. All the way down. No momentum. Just a good pull. So in case you haven't noticed, we're doing a lot of push-pull type moves. I think I have 2 more. I think 1 more. Oh, let's just do 1 more. Okay. Okay. Now, switch legs. See, I'm going to step up. I'm going to step back. Okay. Remember how we leaned in? Soften up the knee in the back. You can go from knee bend to straight. Drop your shoulders. You're going to bend in a bit. You're going to bring your elbows in. You're going to push back. Just like that. You're going to bring it in. You're going to push back. You're going to bring it in. Keep your chin tucked. Push back. Bring it in. Push back. When you push back right there, you need to squeeze the backs of those arms. I know it. I know. Yeah, squeeze with the elbows. Squeeze. Breath. Just 2 more. Just 2 more. Just 2 more. Here we go. And here we go. And come back. Now I'm going to go set my weights down. What am I going to do? I'm going to do 1 more. Here we go. So I'm clicking it up. 1. Just 1. So for me, I'm picking up 15 and 15. So all I want you to do is to come up 1 more. Now, for me, I am not going to use the pad because now these last moves are going to be all focused on overloading back, gluteal, and quad. Okay? So you can guess what this move is going to be. I'm doing a loaded sit to stand. I'm going to go pretty wide with my feet. Okay? I got my weights right here. I can hold them right here independently of any pushing on my legs. I'm going to hip hinge. If I think I need some assistance and I can't use my hands behind me, I'm going to go right here. Okay? This is a safety precaution for those of you who are a little worried about coming down with a heavier weight. Okay? Put your hands right here. It will help. Just press it in there. Just if you want a little insurance. Okay, number 1, breathe. Drop your shoulders. You're going to hip hinge. Do it with your weights to the side or on your quads. That's fine. But I'm going to push into my heels. And I'm going to act like, well, I'm going to go ahead and stand up for the first one. But then I'm going to do some holding, pulsing moves so that I can really get into my quads. Just here at the end, okay? So I'm going to have liftoff. So that means that I've got to push into the heels right there. And then I'm going to come up. Okay. Big breath. In with the nose. Here we go. Push back. Keep my chin tucked. I'm going to come right here. I'm going to hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Touch down. Come back. Come up. Do it again 3 times. Here we go. Breath. Down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Touch. Come back and come up. Breath. Exhale. Take little breaths. Hold. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here we go. And up. Keep going. Stay with me. I just got 2 more to do. Here we go. Breath. Hold those knees wide. 5, 6, 7, 8. Down and up. And come back down into the heels. Breath. Down, up, down, up. Stay into the heels. Breathe, 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 and up. So that last one should have taken you into a little bit of a burn. I know. That's what I was working for. Here we go. Now transverse. Transverse. Don't bring your arms way up. They only come out from your shoulder, right at your armpit. But you're getting wonderful turning action. Reset through your back, through your shoulders, through your hips. Take a breath through your knees and through your feet. Turn out, come in. Turn out and come in. Shake those hands out. Go into a T. Go into a Y. And when you go into your Y, take a look at your hands. Are they out here or are they right at your head level? That's where I want them. Then bring it down to a W. So if you can't think of anything else to do to help yourself feel better, and you're feeling kind of discomfort in your shoulders, your spine, your neck, whatever, do a T. Rotate. Do some of those arm circles we always do. Go into a Y. Pull those thumbs back. Drop your shoulders right now. Just hold there for a little bit. You do this 3 times and take some deep breaths. You will immediately feel better. Then you just bring those elbows down into that W. Why does it make you feel better? Because you finally opened up this very tight chest. Why is it tight? Usually because we've spent hours doing this. Washing dishes, computer, hoeing in a poor posture. Okay? So I was really hammering you today on that. I hope this helps. I do. Take a breath. Do some of those quick moves. You'll be glad you did.